Welcome to Slow English. There is a moment many people experience but rarely say out loud. It arrives quietly, often in the middle of an ordinary day. Nothing dramatic happens, no big crisis, just a small realization that feels heavier than expected. The realization is simple. Nobody is coming to save you. At first, this thought can feel uncomfortable, maybe even unfair. We grow up with stories where someone arrives at the right moment, a person, an opportunity, a sudden change, and everything becomes clear. But real life often moves differently. Days continue. People stay busy. And slowly you understand that most of the work of living happens without rescue. Imagine this. You are standing in line at a supermarket after work. The lights are bright. LS a little cold. Carts move slowly forward. Someone in front of you checks their wallet. A child asks for candy near the cashier. Soft music plays from hidden speakers. Nothing special. Just a normal moment. You hold a few things in your hands. Maybe food for the next days. Maybe something quick because you are too tired to cook properly. You look at the people around you. Everyone seems focused on their own small tasks. Nobody is looking at you. And suddenly, you feel a quiet distance from everything. Not sadness exactly, more like awareness. Everyone here has a life you cannot see. Problems you don't know. Worries they carry silently. And that is where the thought begins. Everyone is busy saving themselves. The line moves forward slowly. Our items on the belt. The cashier smiles politely, but only for a second. It is a professional smile, automatic, practiced. You think about your own day, the tasks you finished, the ones you avoided, the messages you still need to answer, and maybe a small tension appears inside you. Because sometimes you wait for something to change from outside. You wait for motivation to arrive. You wait for someone to notice you are tired. You wait for the perfect moment when everything finally feels easier. But the days keep repeating. Another uncomfortable thought appears. Life does not pause while you are waiting. The scanner beeps. The cashier moves quickly. The person behind you checks their phone again and again. Time moves even in small places like this. Remember moments when you hoped someone would understand without you explaining. Maybe at work, maybe in a relationship, maybe with friends. Sometimes people tried, sometimes they didn't. And slowly you learn something that adult life teaches quietly. People are not ignoring you on purpose. They are just busy surviving their own reality. You pay, take your bag, and walk outside. The air feels different. Cars pass nearby. The sky looks ordinary, not beautiful, not ugly, just there. You start walking toward your car or toward home. Your steps feel automatic, and your mind keeps returning to the same idea. Nobody is coming to save you. It sounds harsh at first, but maybe it is not meant to hurt. Maybe it is just honest. Can become a hidden habit. You wait for someone to push you, someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself, someone to fix the confusion inside your head. And while waiting, months pass quietly. Another adult truth appears. Nobody knows exactly what they are doing all the time. From the outside, people look confident, organized, certain. but many are simply moving forward because stopping feels more frightening. You walk past other people on the street. Some walk fast. Some look tired. Some stare ahead like they are thinking about something heavy. You realize how easy it is to imagine that everyone else has clarity. But clarity is rare. Most people are improvising. You keep walking. The bag feels heavier than expected. Aches slightly. You think about how adulthood often feels like carrying invisible weight. There is no ceremony for it. No clear moment when someone tells you, now you are responsible for everything. It just happens gradually. Bills appear. Responsibilities grow. Decisions become yours. And nobody checks if you feel ready. This is another uncomfortable truth. Readiness is not required for life to continue. You might feel tired, confused, unsure, but the world still expects movement. You stop at a traffic light. Cars pass quickly. People stand beside you, waiting for green. Nobody speaks. You look at the faces around you. Each person seems somewhere else mentally. Maybe they are thinking about work, maybe about family, and suddenly you understand something quiet. Everyone is carrying something invisible. The light changes. People start walking. You walk too. The thought returns again, softer this time. If nobody is coming to save you, then maybe the waiting can end. Not in a dramatic way, just slowly. You remember times when you thought life would feel different by now. More stable, more certain. But adulthood rarely feels finished. It feels like constant adjustment. You compare yourself sometimes, without meaning to. Friends who seem successful, people online who look confident and happy, and a small fear appears. What if you are falling behind? This fear is quiet but powerful. It makes ordinary days feel heavy. But another truth sits beside it. Everyone measures themselves against something. Even the people who look successful. Comparison does not disappear with achievement. You continue walking, feeling the rhythm of your steps. The street noise mixes with your thoughts. You think about how often you expected a turning point, a big change, a moment when everything suddenly becomes clear. But real life rarely announces itself like that. Most change happens quietly. One small decision, one repeated action, one ordinary day after another. No dramatic rescue. You reach a crosswalk and wait again. A man next to you sighs heavily. Someone laughs loudly in the distance. A bus passes with people looking out the windows. Everyone moving. Everyone continuing. H appears. Sometimes nobody notices when you are struggling. Not because they don't care, because struggle often looks normal from the outside. You still go to work. You still answer messages. You still smile when needed. And so people assume you are fine. This realization can feel lonely, but it also carries honesty. If others cannot always see what you carry, then you learn to understand yourself better. The light changes again. You walk forward. The bag in your hand swings slightly with each step. You think about responsibility, not the heavy, dramatic version, just the simple one. Showing up for your own life, even when nobody claps, even when nothing feels exciting. Adult life is full of invisible effort. Or your street. People enter and leave quietly. Someone opens a door, nods, and disappears inside. Everything feels ordinary. And maybe that is the most surprising part. The idea that nobody is coming to save you does not feel dramatic anymore. It feels calm. Because maybe it means something different than you first thought. Maybe it means your life is already yours. No one else can live it for you. No one else can carry your thoughts exactly. And strangely, this realization feels lighter than expected. You unlock the door and step inside. The space is simple, familiar. You put the bag down, silence fills the room, but it is not heavy silence, just normal quiet. You stand for a moment without moving. Someone or something would arrive and make things easier. But maybe ease is not the point. Maybe the real change is learning to stand inside your own life without waiting for rescue. You start putting things away slowly. Each small action feels grounding. You think about another truth. Being responsible for yourself does not mean always feeling strong. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel lost. That does not mean you are failing. It just means you are living. You sit down for a moment. The day replays in your head. Small conversations, small tasks, small moments nobody else will remember. And you realize something quiet. Most of life is made of moments that nobody witnesses. No audience, no applause, each time. And maybe this is where the real reflection begins. If nobody is coming to save you, then maybe you do not need to wait for permission anymore. Not permission to be perfect, just permission to continue, slowly, without drama. You think about how much pressure people carry to look like they have everything under control. But control is often an illusion. Life moves unpredictably. Plans change. Energy changes. And still, you continue. Another adult truth appears. There is no final moment when you suddenly feel complete. You keep growing, adjusting, learning. The process doesn't end. And maybe that is okay. The room feels calm now. Outside, distant sounds continue. Cars, voices, life moving. You sit quietly, not searching for words, just noticing. The idea that nobody is coming to save you no longer feels sad. It feels honest. And honesty can be peaceful. Because waiting is exhausting. Waiting for perfect conditions. Waiting for certainty. Waiting for someone else to fix what feels difficult inside. Maybe today, nothing changes dramatically. Maybe tomorrow will look similar. But something small has shifted. You are not waiting as much. You are simply here, present, aware. You breathe slowly. There is no motivational message coming. No big conclusion. Just a quiet understanding. Life belongs to the person living it. And right now, that person is you. Outside, the day continues. Inside, you sit for a little longer, feeling the ordinary weight of being. Human. Not rescued. Not lost. Just moving forward, slowly, in your own way. And maybe that is enough for now. The evening, or the next moment, arrives without announcement. Nothing is fully resolved, but something feels clearer. Nobody is coming to save you. And somehow, that thought feels less heavy than before, because you are already here, still breathing, still learning, still walking through your own life, one quiet moment at a time, slowly.